Hi, Steve Lackmeyer here with the Oklahoman. There's some very somber news coming into the newsroom this afternoon. I'm here with Mike Knopp, guiding force with the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation and the Oklahoma River, good friend of Aubrey McClendon, and we are just an hour away from having heard that Mr. McClendon had a tragic crash. And we're here to talk about his impact on the community. And forgive us, but there is some grieving going on. Mike, thank you for visiting with us and sharing this story and this legacy. You've known him since the river was just a stream. It was nothing.
Yeah, Aubrey's been a part of my life for as long as I've been connected to the river, and there's no greater inspiration in my life than Aubrey.
You shared with me a story several weeks ago, one that Aubrey let me know is very happy to have read, how he really got the different people together in making the river something great and creating a vision for the Boathouse District. Can you share that one more time and the inspiration he gave you through this process?
Sure, certainly I'll try. Yeah, he's
okay.
Early on in the days when the river, our beloved river, was a ditch, Aubrey was one that I had reached out to, and with the idea of this could be so much more. And while there were a lot of naysayers in the community, not because people weren't supportive, I think it was just a hard thing for people to imagine. And Aubrey immediately got it. I would say the one thing is he was one that no dream was too big. And he gave me the confidence to dream big. And many would say that what we are enjoying today in the Boathouse District is beyond anyone's imagination of what this river could be. And it's Aubrey's inspiration to dream big that I know guided me, gave me the confidence. It also helped put it together. It was help connecting those dots with people in the community. And in rowing, there's a lot of, I like to look at it from this perspective. Of course, the coxswain is the person that steers the boat and is the inspiration in the boat. If you have a good coxswain, you can win the race,
right.
even with a group of athletes that maybe aren't as good or as strong as the others in the other boats. And Aubrey was our coxswain, and when the going got tough and it seemed like it was a impossible hurdle to over, one thing after the other, he always had a way of making you see through that and being able to give the advice that allowed, at least for me, to keep going. I know I made some big decisions in my life, in many ways because of Aubrey and because of his inspiration, and leaving a law career to become a coach.
To understand, you were a prosecutor at the district attorney's office, and that would have been a secure career, and you threw that away to gamble on something that didn't exist.
That's right.
That was Aubrey's inspiration.
It was an inspiration. Of course, Aubrey, as I said, he had a way of bringing people together, and he, with others in the community, many, from Tom McDaniel at OCU, who he brought to, and of course Ray Ackerman and many others. But Aubrey was that person that allowed me to see that, you should believe in your vision. You should believe in your dream. If you're passionate enough that we are committed to work hard. And that's one thing I also really got from Aubrey is that work ethic. And my wife would even joke with me that, you know, the one person I'd be emailing at 2 a.m. was Aubrey. And what was special about that is he would always email me right back. You know, he was one that was despite the fact that he was very busy in his own world with so many things going on, he always took the time to pat me on the back or to give me some advice or to take time out of his schedule to respond to an email when I knew he had probably 1,000 things going on. And it's just a very special man.
He talked about his loyalty. He's been known for the loyalty that he had to some of his employees, to those he worked with, to his friends. I mean, he started up another company immediately, started hiring the people who'd lost their jobs. But there at the river, I mean, he loved this city. Talk about his loyalty to Oklahoma City.
I've never seen a person who loved this city more than Aubrey. There are many other people who will come in, I'm sure, speak to you about the commitment and the incredible generosity of Aubrey, and his legacy is just going to be tremendous in Oklahoma City. But his loyalty to, you know, people told me when we first started this that, you know, is the boathouse going to be a flash in the pan? Is it going to be something we do and it kind of dies away and we move on to something else? And Aubrey's been the chairman of our board since we founded the organization. He's been there from every step of the way, and he's been one I've always been able to lean on and always look to the next thing. And even when things did get tough, if we had a challenging issue that came up, he would help navigate that, and extremely loyal to our friendship, to his role as the chairman, and but also I could see how important. One thing that I always admired also about him and what I learned from him is his great love, despite everything going on, and how much time he spent doing all these things, how much of a family man he was, and how important his family was to him, and he talked about that a lot. He's such a wonderful family, such a wonderful man, and I think he's touched so many lives in this community and was such a positive force to our organization. I like to tell the story too, that he would be one that when you walk into the boathouse, Aubrey would have this radar that he would notice if there was a piece of trash over here, you know, he'd go pick it up and go throw it away. And he was always led by example in that regard. And so.
I've heard stories over the years where he didn't want anyone to know, he didn't want any credit, but there's a lot of quiet, that generosity that went along with what he did. Just individual families, hard luck stories, and just to be a quiet gift from him. I mean, is there any way to even total all the people he helped?
I mean, there's certainly the financial aspect of how much he gave and the generosity, but there was much more than that. I mean, I know in my life, I mean, in the Boathouse district and everything that we've done, I mean, it was more than the financial gifts. It was again his gift of his support, his guidance, his mentorship, his way of thinking, and that's, Steve, that's a great point. I mean, I've always been one that, you know, wanted to dream big, but when I could see Aubrey and see how he executed and how he he gave me confidence to do so. I don't know how we would have ever done what we've done without having that confidence and that way of thinking that sort of permeated into the core of our culture and our organization there to dream big and to do things that would bring the Olympic Committee to Oklahoma City, that would bring athletes here, that would, I mean, he was incredibly generous of his time to spend with some of these athletes that came in from out of town, and the fact that they had an opportunity to spend time with Aubrey was really powerful for them.
So the rowers, your staff, they all knew him, didn't they?
Yeah, they knew him. He came, you know, of course, through his time at board meetings. I always loved the time that he came out, and he came out to row a couple times, and my wife had the privilege of teaching Aubrey how to row, and his it's hard to talk about that, but his the way he carried himself through that exercise of learning to row, it was like, let's just do it. Let's skip all the nuances that we typically go through. I'm ready to go. And he would go out there, and I think he loved the challenge, and he loved to learn something new, and he was incredibly attentive and a student, you know, to rowing, and he just got after it right there. And
That's Aubrey,
that was
isn't it?
Aubrey. That was Aubrey. His experience in learning to row was all about the man, and so there's just so many wonderful things, so many stories like that.
A couple of weeks ago, you lost a rower,
Yeah.
and you were telling me about the special tribute that's done. Talk about that and what you're looking at doing to commemorate the life of this man there on the river.
Well, it's hard to think about how to properly give tribute to such a inspirational force to the river and to my life, to so many people in this community. And what we would like to do is in honor of Aubrey, do a paddle out on Saturday morning where everyone who would like to or can or is able or would just like to come stand on the banks of the Oklahoma River and watch the sunrise. It's a special way to think about the impact that Aubrey McClendon made on the lives of Oklahomans and the people of this city. And I know he was the river was a very special place to him, and I think to see so many people out on the water as the sun rises, I think is the least we can do to begin to honor his commitment, his generosity, what he brought to Oklahoma City.
All right. Mike, thank you for visiting with us this afternoon. Please share the Oklahomans' condolences with your staff and your family, all who became very close to Mr. McClendon.
Certainly our condolences go out to his wonderful family at this time, and if there's anything that we can do, we're here.